I hear you in the background whenever I phone.
Howdy, fellas. It's Nut Rock MMA back at it again. I have not posted in a while on YouTube. I really should have. I'm also going to be talking a little quiet because my family's asleep. But yeah, just figured I need to get on the videos. It looks like shit right now because I don't have a face cam. This is just the laptop's camera. When I went house sitting, probably, goddamn, 2 months ago, I came back to find the dog had gone on the counter and ate my goddamn face cam. So I'll work on getting a new one, but for the time being, you get this piece of shit. At least I still have a mic. But anyways, just UFC 324 looking pretty good. Got the news today that Kayla Harrison got a injury that's going to cause her to have to pull out, so we're going to ignore that. But if you're curious, I would pick Kayla Harrison by decision to a late submission. But anyways, that's getting way ahead of ourselves. Adam Fugit versus Ty Miller. Fugit, I don't really know. I'm not exactly a Adam Fugit follower. Fugit, I don't know. Fuck it. I'm taking Ty Miller. I'm pretty sure he's like a 4-1 favorite here. Had a good showing on Dana White Contender Series, I think. I don't know. I really should have done research on him. Get to learn with me. I knew he was undefeated. I would like to see this young man's record. Whoops. I don't know. When it comes to shit like this, I can't lie. I usually just pick the prospect coming up, and about probably 8 out of 10 times it works out just fine. But yeah, Ty Miller, I'm gonna go ahead and take him to win this fight. I don't really know. Maybe I'll do some research afterwards. I didn't give enough of a fuck. I had a busy week. I got signed up for college again the third semester, but yeah, we'll just take Ty Miller by, I don't fucking know, something fancy. TKO. I don't know. Ricky Turcios versus Cameron Smotherman. This one's gonna be close. I think Ricky Turcios is not bad, but he's not good. He's extremely mediocre. His last fight was a pretty fun scrap. I think his last fight was at 311. I'm pretty sure. And then Smotherman lost to Ricky Simon on pretty short notice. Against Ricky Simon. Okay, so yeah, it was UFC 311. That's what I thought. I think Smotherman is going to take this one. Smotherman didn't look that bad, and I think he lost to a better opponent. Smotherman is a crazy name to have. That is just like the anti-MMA fan name. But I think Ricky Turcios, I don't like him in this matchup. I'm going to take Cameron Smotherman by decision. Losing to Ricky Simon's not a bad loss. Ricky Simon's pretty good in his own right, especially in short notice. And I think Ricky Turcios, I don't know. I don't see it in him. I'm pretty sure Ricky won like the Tough finale at one point, which is like, what kind of a crazy season is this mediocre ass motherfucker winning Tough? I don't know. I love Tough, but we have not gotten good prospects out of it recently. Speaking of good prospects, though, Josh Hockett versus Denzel Freeman. Excuse me. Denzel Freeman, the most the virality he got from his last fight was because he was just he was like beatboxing in the cage. It was kind of funny. He was going and like not doing much. I'm gonna take Josh Hockett here just based on their last fights. Hockett won a pretty dang nice KO win. He's undefeated. That don't really matter to me. They're pretty evenly matched up in size, with Denzel being a little bigger weight-wise. But I think Hockett's mix of wrestling and just he has good KO power. We saw that in his last fight. I'm gonna take Josh Hockett by round one or two TKO. Get him on the ground and pound, smash his face in. Not too much to talk about there. Just kind of your average heavyweight prelim matchup. But Josh Hockett is an interesting heavyweight. Some people already don't like him because he's a fucking loudmouth, and he's like doing this weird shit in the mic. I kind of dig it. I kind of like he was like going full Dr. Seuss in his last mic. It's kind of like Colby, and he's definitely a Colby wannabe, but it's got to give him attention. Whatever works for him. So I can't hate. Alexander Hernandez versus Michael Johnson. Damn. I don't like picking him because he's lost me money his last two fights, and he beat Chase Hooper, which I'm not happy about. I'm going to take Alexander Hernandez in this one. Michael Johnson's been looking decent. He picked apart Daniel Hooper when Esteban Ribovics had a hard time with him. Esteban's like this hyped up prospect, but I mean, shit. Michael Johnson dominated him at 38 years old, 39 years old. But I'm going to take Alexander Hernandez in this one. I think he's looked pretty solid, and he's got power. So does Michael Johnson, but like Alexander Hernandez, it just takes one good shot for him. He was losing, albeit it was only the first round. He was losing against Chase Hooper, and he was losing against Ferreira. Or he might not have been losing against Ferreira. It might have been, I think it was a round 3 TKO, and it was 1-1 or round 2 1-1. I don't know. But it just takes one good shot for Alexander Hernandez, and Michael Johnson has been shown to be kind of chinny in the past before. So I'm going to take Alexander Hernandez by late TKO, like round 3, or maybe a decision, like a 29-28, 29-28, 30-27. Someone's win streak has to go, and unfortunately, I think our boy MJ might drop it. Not much to talk about. Should be a good fight. I'm excited about this one. Charles Johnson versus Alex Perez. Charles is finally getting to fight up the damn rankings against someone who isn't a cheater. I can't believe they haven't overturned the loss he took to, I think it was Azit Maxim or something like that. Should be a good fight. Alex Perez, Alex Perez will bring it, I think. I don't love the turnaround. And that's why I'm going to be picking Charles Johnson. I don't love the turnaround for Alex Perez. He came off he's coming off a loss from like a month or two ago to Almabayev, and I don't know. I like Alex Perez. He's like kind of one of the mainstay guys in the division. But I think Charles Johnson, he's got the power to put him out, and I think he's got the range too. He's pretty rangy for a flyweight. He's like 5'9". I don't know what his reach is. I know he's got kind of long arms, don't he? Yeah, 70-inch reach to Alex Perez's 5.5. He's going to have the range, and Johnson's got grit. He was losing the Kavanaugh pretty convincingly, but then he kind of just waited it out, landed a beautiful shot, and put Kavanaugh out. I'm kind of surprised there's Kavanaugh still in the rankings after a loss, when he wasn't even in the rankings before he lost. I thought that was kind of weird. I thought you should have just left like Joseph Morales in. But regardless, I'm going to take Johnson by, I think he's going to finish him. We're going to see a Charles Johnson round 2 TKO, or even flat KO, but I think TKO is more realistic. Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas, excuse me. Good to see Modestas on his win streak. I almost had a crafty Paul Craig pick against him, but I decided not to do it, even though it would have been really funny. Bukauskas is looking good. I think he's riding like a 4-fight win streak. Looking solid in the UFC. I think undefeated or 1 loss since he came back. And Krylov is on the decline. I picked Krylov against Reyes, got chinned. I picked Bogdan against him, he got chinned. His chin just ain't all there. I think Bukauskas has been looking really good. He's pretty big for the division. Looking way slick. He's looking fast. I do kind of think he lost the Kudalaba though, but I mean, I think he's kind of. I think he's certainly improved since Kudalaba. I think, and he's been finishing guys, just looking good overall. So I'm gonna take Bukowskis to take this one. I want to say like a round one club and sub maybe. Like he gets Krylov on the ground and then starts bashing him in, and then submits and maybe takes a neck or maybe make a choke or even a Kimura or something like that. I think Bukowskis is going to test his grappling a bit and go for a round one like club and sub, or he could even just go for a TKO. But I think Bukowskis is going to get a finish in the first round. I hate saying it because I thought Krylov was. I thought he still kind of had it, but he don't have it anymore. I think he's done. I think he's on the verge of being cut. To be honest, he's not been looking too hot. Anyways, next fight up, Ateba Gautier versus Andrei Pulev. I'm picking Ateba, but like people are overlooking Andre here. He's not bad. He coming off a round 2 TKO against the blue collar fucking Will Klein, I think. Whose whole shtick is he's a blue collar guy, which is whatever. He overcame some grappling there. This is a step up. I will say people are overlooking Pulev a little bit. That being said, Ateba Gautier, round 1 or 2 TKO. I know he hasn't fought really anyone that good, but I think Ateba's a solid fighter, and when Ateba wins this fight, or when he likely wins this fight, I should say, I would like him to face someone like maybe even the winner of Zachary Reese versus Michelle Pereira coming up. You could even, if you really wanted to, you could throw him against a lower ranked opponent, but I think that's a little too crazy. So maybe like the winner again of Reese versus Pereira. You could give him like an Edmund Shabazian. I would like to see Ateba get an even better or bigger step up after this fight. Because I like the guy. I'm rooting for him. He seems like a really nice guy. I like the video of him like playing with cats or whatever. But just because I like a fighter doesn't mean I don't want them to get tested. So after this, we boot him up a bit, give him a top 30, top 25 opponent. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Ateba Gautier, I think he's gonna finish him round 1 or 2. I think Pulev might be hesitant to exchange with him, and so that might lead us into a round 2. But I think Ateba's still gonna KO him regardless. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo. I don't like to say this because I don't like him, but I'm taking Nurmagomedov. The odds are a little disrespectful in my opinion. I think it should be 6-1 Umar. The guy got dropped by fucking Mario Batista. The guy who, Patchy Mix stood at Mario Batista and just went had a jab flicked at him for 15 minutes straight, then go down or whatnot. Like, Umar took a knee, good knee, but a knee and went down. And Davison does have that kind of freaky power that put anyone out. But I do think this matchup's kind of cherry picked to get Umar back on a win streak so he can get back into the title picture. If Sean O'Malley wins up this card, I think Sean versus Jan is 1,000% going to be made. But regardless, I'm taking Umar. I might even take him by submission, but I think decision's a little safer with him because he's at this point where he's already lost his O, so he's afraid of taking any more like embarrassment. And we saw that with the Batista fight. Like, he did not want to. It seemed like he didn't even want to try to submit him. Like, say what you will, he did definitely win that fight, but Mario had him in the worst position. Like, he had him in more danger than Umar ever had him in the whole fight. Umar won because he was so dominant on the control time. But I am going to take Umar. I'm think I'm gonna take him just by like a 30-27 decision. Figgy's kind of small for the division. He's kind of old, 38, I believe. Looks terrible in his last fight. I know he won, but he looked terrible. Um, yeah, I don't like picking the fucking rats. I like Islam Makhachev, even though his last fight was shit. But like Umar is someone I really do not like, and I do not like seeing him succeed. But he's gonna win here, I think. Still should be like a 6-1 favorite, not a 15-1 favorite. All right, Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. You got Pat Barry's Victim versus Natalia Silva. I don't really like Rose at this weight class, and Natalia Silva's looked really good. God, look at this is the spectrum of women's MMA. You got the pretty good looking lady, and you got the little boy haircut. I mean, no disrespect to Rose. She was very pretty before Pat Barry made her look like a little boy. I'm taking Natalia Silva. I don't think the odds should be 4-1, maybe minus 250 Silva. I think Rose still has some of that. I don't know. Just I feel like she still kind of has it. But with that being said, Natalia Silva is just really quick on the feet. I don't think Rose is going to test the grappling here. I'd be surprised if she did. And I'm pretty sure Natalia's got pretty solid takedown defense, at least from what I've seen. So I'm going to take Natalia Silva by decision here, 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. I don't think this will be anything too special. I don't think we're going to see a finish here. But yeah. And I think Natalia Silva, if Shevchenko doesn't choose to move up, I think regardless she's gonna be the next title challenger. But I think if Silva doesn't move up, or excuse me, Shevchenko doesn't move up, this will be Shevchenko's next opponent. Arnold Allen versus Jew Silva. I don't like John Silva, and I think you could probably guess why. But I am gonna take him against Arnold Allen. I think the odds should not be a borderline 3-1. I think the odds should be probably a mild favorite to Silva. I thought this was a weird fight because Arnold was insisting he's going up to lightweight, which I think is a good division for him, especially with the damage he's taken to his shoulder. I don't love picking fighters on long layoffs, especially from shoulder and hand injuries, and I don't love picking fighters who've already expressed they want to go to a different division. That tells me that you are being drained from that weight cut. You feel like you're being hindered. And I just don't like that. I think Arnold Allen I honestly think he's the better fighter. And I think he's the more refined fighter. I think he's the more composed fighter. But I think John is going to find that shot. I think he's going to drop Allen in the second round. And then after losing the first maybe, and then kind of dominate from there. So I think I'm going to go John Silva by a very late finish, or 29-28 decision, maybe a 30-27 thrown in there. I don't like picking him. John Silva's got a great fighting style, but I think you guys know why I don't like him very much. He's part of the 7K club, and watching him lose to Lopez was great. But I do have to pick him here, I think. Don't want to. This one's interesting. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. My buddy JWG MMA on Instagram. He's picking Lewis. I'm gonna go with Costa. But God, something in my gut just tells me that Lewis is gonna find I'm still gonna go with Costa, but I have a horrible gut feeling that Lewis is gonna find the chin in the second or third round after losing the first one or two, and just flatline Costa. I have it's just this gut feeling, and maybe I should listen to it. Maybe I'll regret this, but I'm gonna go with Costa. I don't like Acosta at all. Everyone jumped on the Waldo Cortez Acosta train because he was being. People want to talk about Tom Aspinall being overdramatic about the eye poke. He was being overdramatic about the eye poke, and then he played it up, and it pisses me off. His face pisses me off. Just look at that fucking. Look at his face. I don't like how he emoted on Andrei Arlovsky. He also unfortunately fraud checked Robelis Despaigne or Despagne, I don't fucking know. Karate combat champion. But I do think he's a solid fighter. I think he's getting overrated. But I'm still gonna take him to beat Derek Lewis by. It's either gonna be a round 1, like a round 3 TKO, or it could even be like a lackluster decision, like against Spivak. I don't think he beat Spivak. I do, but I don't. I've rewatched the fight a few times. And it's like I can see it for both, but like I picked Spivak, so maybe I was just being biased. He probably beat Spivak. I'm gonna take Waldo. Unfortunately, I'm gonna root for Derek. I don't fucking like Waldo. And plus, this could throw Derek in the title picture, and I would love that. Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. I think O'Malley's going to beat Yadong. I think he's going to beat Yadong with some difficulty. Sorry. I'm a little worried about this one. I think the odds are right. I think a plus or a minus 190 for Sean is reasonable. What worries me is how Song has been talking about how he's been like exclusively wrestling all camp, but I'm still gonna trust Sean to come back here. The UFC really wants it. The UFC wants to book Jan versus Sean, or Jan versus Sean so bad. Like, guarantee you that is the White House card. Which I don't know why anyone wants to fight against the in front of the freaking Epstein clientele. I don't understand the hype behind the White House card. I think it's retarded. But yeah, I'm gonna take Sean O'Malley here. I think I'm gonna take him by decision because Song Yadong is really tough. He don't get finished often. Not recently, anyways. He did lose to Kyler Phillips, but I don't know. Song also didn't look great against Cejudo, and I think if he does check the grappling, which I think he will, I think Sean will be prepared enough and keep him at range. Maybe he might be throwing a lot of kicks, like teep kicks, knees up the middle. A lot of people have that like image in their head of him getting ragdolled by Merab, but again, it's Merab, so it's like you can't entirely judge him for that. So I'm gonna take Sean O'Malley by decision here. Maybe drops around, maybe like a 30-27, 29-28, 29-28 decision. Or it could be like a late TKO. I think Sean's gonna bounce back here. Okay, I already said fights off, but I would have picked Kayla Harrison by like late submission to a decision. Would have been a scrap. Justin Gaethje versus Patty Pimbush, motherfucker. It's a good fight. People are upset that Patty got the shot because Armin deserves one. Don't get me. Never mind. No, I ain't gonna get started on Armin. I don't think Patty really deserves the shot, but do you guys really think fucking Armin did? Armin sat on his ass for 18 months. Patty Pimblett is not active, and he still fought sooner than Armin. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? I think, Patty's fought twice since Armin fought, until Armin fought in, November or whatever? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't think beating Dan Hooker, who was a great matchup for you, beating him, who's ranked number 6 or 7, that might get clipped. No, I might clip that. I don't think beating Dan Hooker, who's ranked number 6 or 7, deserves a title shot, especially after 18 months of sitting on your ass, and especially after possibly ruining the main event again because you're headbutting him. So I don't think Armin deserves a shot. I honestly, like, fucking, I don't know. It's like there's an issue with lightweight now because it's so, like, fogged up. And honestly, this issue would be resolved if the old guys would fucking fight down. Yeah. Like I feel like we have guys in like the top like 10 to 15, or like even the top like 25. I feel like a lot of these guys in the rankings would be making it so much more interesting. But we just kind of have the old guard sitting around. Like I honestly think I would have preferred like maybe Max Holloway getting this shot and doing a rematch against Gaethje. I don't really fucking know. I feel like they threw Patty in because he's marketable. All the casuals love Patty. My mom has barely watched the sport, and she loves Patty. Which I think that's cool. People hate on like the bandwagons, but like when it comes to someone like Patty, I feel like they're kind of good because it brings a lot more eyes to the sport. Kind of like with Conor fans. I feel like when bandwagons get bad are like the Khabib fans because they're like a rancid fan base of a bunch of Muslims. Not, won't get into that, but I don't know. I feel like this was kind of a weird fight. I kind of expected it. I just didn't realize it'd be for an interim title. This fight also tells us that Armin's not getting the next title shot. He might not even get the one after that. So it might be 2027 till we see Armin like fight in an actual cage again. With that being said, I'm gonna take a little more time on this fight. I know who I'm picking, but I'm gonna explain. So Justin Gaethje, the thing with Justin is that I feel like even with his win over Fiziev, I think he's showing very much like a decline in his game. Like I don't think he looked all that good against Fiziev, even though he dropped him. Like, excuse me, even though he dropped him, he got put into like a reverse triangle against Fiziev, you know, and that's just, I don't know. If you're getting put in a reverse triangle by a Fiziev, what the fuck is Patty gonna do to you? What Justin has to do to win this fight is still not like a great path to victory for him, if that makes sense. Because I think Justin, to win this fight, is gonna have to make it close and get it scrappy. But this is when we get on the Patty here. If it gets close and it gets kind of scrappy, I think Patty's gonna engage that grappling, and I think Justin Gaethje, although Gaethje does have underrated takedown defense and his grappling's, I mean, I feel like his wrestling's fine, but his grappling's not great. I feel like he's going to be clearly outmatched there. So when Justin tries to get it into his game, I think it's going to work in the Patty's favor. And Justin's not really like a big rangy guy. I feel like Patty works the range a little better, albeit against Michael Chandler. And that's where I'll get to here. Way stronger strength of schedule for Justin Gaethje. But I just still feel like Patty's like a bad matchup. And I think Patty's like, I think he's like the clear, I think he's the clear favorite for a reason. I think he's a 2-1 favorite right now. I have to check. I have the odds pulled up here. Take a look at them. I think I'm picking mostly favorites today. Excuse me. I don't know. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to take Patty Pimblett. I think I'm going to take him by a round 3 submission. I think Justin maybe wins the first round, utilizes those leg kicks, maybe tries to get in close, lands a few good shots, and I think Patty puts it on, because Patty's kind of a slow starter, I've noticed. I think Patty puts it on the second round, and then third round shit gets hectic. Maybe he wobbles Gaethje a bit, and then engages the grappling, goes for like a TKO or maybe like a club and sub. So I'm going to take Patty Pimblett by third round finish, probably like a TKO or a submission from a ground and pound. I'm pretty confident in this one. I think this was I think Cage Side Convos said this on TikTok. I think he said the UFC was looking for the most winnable matchup for Patty Pimblett in the top 5. And I do agree. This is definitely the most winnable matchup for Patty in the top 5. I don't think he beats Armin. I would not pick him to beat Armin. I would not pick him to beat Holloway. He could maybe get a win off of Charles at this point in his career, but even then, Charles could find a way to beat him. I think Ilya smokes Patty. I think Ilya smokes Armin. I think Ilya still smokes everyone in the top 5. People are saying he's running from Armin. It kind of makes me laugh because I'm like, you guys are just Islam fans in disguise, and I fucking know it. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Again, sorry for the poor camera quality. I will work on getting a new face cam. It's just damn dog ate mine. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm going to try to start posting a bit more regularly for you guys. Amidst school, I'm taking less classes, so hopefully it's a little less stressful for me to do all this shit. And I appreciate it if you share it around, and you guys have a blessed day. Nutrock is out of here.